Hello, welcome back. Episode 2 of the Cinematic Fanatics podcast. I'm here with Dalen. Uh,
Hello.
it's been it's been a while. It's been like over 2 months.
Yeah.
We've been busy with school and sports and other stuff, but we're here, and we're gonna discuss some movies today, some upcoming movies, and some just general topics going on right now in Hollywood. So, why don't we get into our first movie that we watched when we were away, which was Blue Beetle. You want to take the lead on this one?
I'll take the lead for this. So,
All right.
Blue Beetle. I mean, I'm a DC fan. I didn't know a lot about Blue Beetle before the movie came out. Like usually I have like a idea about who they are. I've only really known Blue Beetle from Injustice 2, but that movie was pretty good. I thought that it was amazing for at least superhero movies now. I feel like now the quality has gone down, but this movie really set the bar high. And I kind of sad that it made no money, but I
Yeah,
thought it
it
was
was a
good.
pretty big flop, and I don't think it deserved to flop at all either because I thought probably even more of it than you did. I've seen this movie now I think 3 times in theaters, and I've
Wow.
I've loved it like every single time, even more each time after watching it. But yeah, this movie was just it really felt like old Marvel to me. You know, it had that like Winter Soldier, Iron Man feel to it. It just brought back like those old Marvel vibes, and I I just loved it because it really had depth to the story. The characters really had feeling, and there was death in it, which made the stakes higher. There was like I think 2 or 3 deaths in the movie that like actually were like substantial to like the story and like changed the entire plot. And I love the villain, even though he was like a kind of like a generic villain in like a Power Ranger suit. Um, it was still good, and I also love the action. And I thought Jolo Mariduena, I think I'm saying it correctly, did a great job. I love him in Cobra Kai, so I think he did a great job as Blue Beetle. And it was, I hope they make a second movie, although it's unlikely. But James Gunn has said that he's gonna stay in the DC universe, so we'll see where that takes him.
Yeah. I know you were upset at me for this, but the first time I went to go see it, I fell asleep. Now, it
Yeah, that
wasn't
was. Yeah, I remember that. I
it
remember that, and I got
had
very angry at you. Yeah, I remember that.
it had nothing to do with the movie. Just that whole day was a lot. But the second time I watched it in the theaters, it was mind blowing. I was like, wow, this movie's great. And I don't
Yeah,
know,
I.
it just felt very how to say it? Like you felt really close to the character. A lot of times you kind of just watch the characters, especially the main character, just do whatever. But this one, you really felt what he was feeling. You kind of felt like,
Uh
wow,
huh.
like the
Definitely.
situation he's in is very. I
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
it can happen to anyone.
Uh huh. And I mean, I bought this movie like immediately on Apple TV, and I've already watched it like twice on my computer, just like when I'm bored. But no, yeah, Blue Beetle. It was a pleasant surprise for me. It probably gets like an 8.59, probably an 8.5. It's not quite there, but it's really close for me.
For me, probably an eight, but like a solid eight. Like it's not eight because there's anything wrong with it necessarily. Just an eight because it's just really good in my opinion. I thought there was not a lot of flaws in the movie. It was pretty good throughout the whole thing.
Yep, definitely. Okay, so we also saw some movies not with each other. I think Dalen, you saw Equalizer 3 and Gran Turismo,
Yes.
and I saw the movie with Leonardo DiCaprio, Killers of the Flower Moon. We could talk about those for a couple minutes. If you want to talk about your 2 movies, I'll talk about my movie, and then we could talk about. Oh, I also saw The Creator, without you, which
Oh yeah, that was heartbreaking. Yeah.
yeah, I'm sorry, bro. It
I
was
gotta
good
get you
though.
back on that one.
But yeah, you could talk about your movies if you want.
Yeah, I watched Gran Turismo before I watched Equalizer 3, and that one was it was weird. I don't you don't really see movies like that are like based on a true story, yet that epic, yet that weird, because it's like a video game movie, yet it's a true story. So it was just kind of weird, the substance of the movie. But the movie was really good in the way that it just executed the plot. I mean, I didn't think it was gonna be bad, but definitely did not expect it to be that good. I mean, it was entertaining. Basically, Gran Turismo is a video game for the PlayStation. It's a racing game, and in the movie, what happens is this kid who loves the game, and they like have this tournament for the players that if they win the tournament, they get to compete in real racing. And that's kind of the premise of the whole movie. And the kid makes it in. It's a really nice story, heartwarming, and kind of similar to Top Gun Maverick, how like at the finale, like the climax, they're like racing. There's really like a beat similar to this, but with racing cars, not racing, jets or whatever. So I thought it was pretty good. And then I watched. Wait, I'll give Gran Turismo uh probably 7.5 out of 10. And then I watched The Equalizer 3 with gosh, I forgot his name. Oh no.
Denzel Washington.
Yes, no, yes. Sorry.
I think that's
Hopefully,
it.
yeah, it is that. Sorry. Hopefully, no one caught that mistake. But yeah, I watched it with him, and I have not watched the last two. But you don't have
I
to watch
haven't
the other
either.
two to watch this one. But it was really good. It was set in Italy. It showed the culture beautifully. It was just a nice story. It
So
was
was it like John Wick vibes or like different?
way different. I thought it'd be completely
Different.
like John Wick,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
John Wick is like action from start to finish. This one is a lot more drama than you would think. There's a lot more talking, a lot more just
But does the
seeing
action make up for it?
scenes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, there's like I
Okay.
think three action scenes. I think I'm not sure, like three really big ones.
Mhm.
Where in John Wick, the whole movie is just action packed,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like the action kind of follows John Wick. Where in this one, it's kind of like it starts with the action, then he's living his life, then he sees something going on, and then he kind of like then the action kind of starts. But overall, it was still pretty good. The story was great, and yeah, I would give it a 7.5.
Okay. Dude, I'm still angry. I mean, look, you're angry at me. I didn't see the creator with you. I'm angry at you. I didn't see Gran Turismo because I want to see the movie so bad. I still haven't seen it. I don't know. I'm probably gonna watch it when it comes to streaming, just because I don't feel like blowing $28 on it. But it that movie looks really good, and it got pretty good reviews for being like a a pretty. It looked like it was gonna be pretty slept on, and it got pretty good reviews.
Yeah.
So I really want to see Gran Turismo. But I saw the creator. Um, that movie was it was it was very slow, but it had scenes that definitely made up for the slowness with big action sequences, and I really liked how it took like the future and it really like expanded on it in like a very human way. It's about this little robot girl and this little robot girl is like kind of like this like the weapon to like ending the world, and this human guy is like trying to like stop her from doing it, but he's also trying to save her life because the AI want her. And it's really good. It's a story about love, loss. It's like 2 hours and 45 minutes, and it was long. And when I saw it with my friends, they didn't really like that, and they started getting a little bit annoying, and I started getting a little bit annoyed. But no, honestly, the ending was amazing. The ending definitely made up for some of the slow parts, and the whole entire third act as a whole is just like you're on the edge of your seat. Like you never expected them to go where they go. So the creator gets a solid 8 from me, and I would definitely recommend seeing it. Maybe renting it. Most likely, I would stream that movie. The second movie I saw without Dalen was
Dang.
Killers of the Flower Moon with Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, um, Lily Gladstone, I think it is. So this movie was 3 hours and 26 minutes.
Wow.
Started the movie at 7 o'clock, no 7:30 I think, and didn't get out of the theater until 11:30 because of
Wow.
previews.
That's crazy.
So it was definitely an experience. Um, I saw it with two of my friends who did not enjoy it because they are not that into cinema. But I liked it. It was good in my opinion. It's for me it's like a solid 7.5 out of 10. It's definitely not as good as Oppenheimer. Um I think it's even like Dayla didn't like Oppenheimer because it was slow, and this movie's slower than Oppenheimer. So I don't know how much Dalen would like this one, but I think the story in some ways could be more captivating than Oppenheimer's story. It talks about the Osage Nation and all these murders surrounding like the oil and the money, and it's very good. And Leonardo DiCaprio, Robert De Niro, they do great jobs in their roles. Some of the best acting I've seen like since I started watching movies as a kid. Amazing acting, and the story is really great. There's just scenes that are like, why am I watching this? Like, it's for the plot, and in the end, like, you're kind of glad that you saw it because you're like, okay, yeah, like it builds the characters or whatever. But when you're sitting in the theater in the moment, you're kind of getting angry. You're like, okay, this does not need to be this long. But I definitely think it is it's definitely a streaming movie. Like, you don't need a huge screen to see this movie. Like, it's nothing big happens in this movie that you need a screen. Whereas Oppenheimer, maybe you do need a bigger screen. But yeah, it gets a 7.5 for me. It was good. It's definitely not like a buy and like watch once a month kind of movie.
Yeah.
I feel like if they want to preserve this movie, it should go in like a vault and just be taken out at like times. But it's definitely a good signing off piece for Martin Scorsese. I think maybe this is his last movie, but
Ooh, you think so?
I don't know. I mean, what is he? He's like 80 now, right?
Yeah. But he's been pretty active. Like he got a letterboxd account. I was like,
Really?
what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't use Letterboxd all that much.
Yeah, me neither. But I
So
saw
what
it
does he
on
do on
Twitter.
there? Does he like review movies?
I mean, I guess I know he just opened an account. I think now it's like the most
Okay.
followed account already.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah, because it feels like now like he's starting to like get more out there, in terms of, like socially, kind of like how directors are a little like in their little box. They don't really
Yeah, yeah.
communicate. He's starting to like get out more. So maybe this is like his comeback, maybe to the
Yeah, maybe he's
mainstream.
ramping up for like another 5 movies. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. But no, yeah, I definitely thought it was a solid movie. Um, if you're interested in it, and if you're interested in like a long movie with lots of slow talking, and you're interested in like cinema, then you'll love this movie. If you're interested in like a good time popcorn movie with friends, you will hate this movie. So go into it, whatever you're thinking, and you'll come out how you go in. So yeah, it gets 7.5 from me. Not bad. It was pretty good.
Would you say it was like unnecessarily long, or do you think that the runtime was justified by like all the story beats and stuff like that?
Okay, here's the thing. So there's a specific scene where Leonardo DiCaprio and Lily Gladstone, which is Leonardo DiCaprio's wife, are sitting around a dinner table for 15 minutes, just like talking,
What?
just talking. And I like 10 minutes in, I'm like, okay, bro, like this is enough. And I would say maybe like 80% of this, or like, okay, let's say 70%, 75% of the stuff they're saying is like good script, like story. So it's kind of like, I'm kind of like, it's kind of like two clashing heads, you know what I mean? Because at like, it's
Yeah.
15 minutes that like you don't really need, but it's also like 75% like good story. So you kind of like don't know. But
Wow, 15 minutes.
yes.
So it's just like two camera angles of them talking back and forth,
No,
or
they're
is it
just no. It's the one camera. They're
one?
just sitting.
So
They're sitting next to each other at a dinner table. Yeah, yeah, that's it. So
so that's an act for 15 minutes just talking.
yeah, and then I would say the last I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour is courtroom.
Oh my
So yeah, kind of
gosh.
like Oppenheimer, but in my opinion, it's way less entertaining than Oppenheimer's courtroom.
Wow, that's I mean, because Oppenheimer, as much as it was long, I would say that it was paced okay, where I didn't feel like we were one place for too long.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
that is crazy.
Yeah, but you know, you're gonna have situations where people are like, "That 15-minute scene was great. Like, there was so much good storytelling and like the acting and Martin Scorsese's script." You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
you're gonna have those people that are like that, and you're gonna have those people that are like, "Okay, I'm gonna leave the theater now." But
I wonder if there was people left. I mean, I think I would have just fell
I
asleep or
don't think
something.
there was, but there were definitely people who were like, kind of getting antsy around me for sure.
Yeah.
There was this older couple sitting next to me, and this lady, she kept like grabbing stuff out of her bag like candy and stuff like that. And at one point, the guy got up and just like started walking around the theater. Like, I'm being so serious. He started like doing laps around the theater, and
I feel like I would do that.
yeah, no, it was kind of funny, but yeah, it's not your average movie. I'll say that. Like, it's not like your average Saturday 7 o'clock movie. It's definitely an investment of your time, and you definitely have to be interested. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, because I was gonna go see it, but then something came up, so I couldn't go.
Yeah,
But I
Dalen was supposed to go with
genuinely,
me, and Dalen canceled. Right? Yeah.
yeah, no, yeah, something came up, but I genuinely did want to see it, and I still want to see it. I mean, I feel like if I'm not watching it in a theater, then I probably won't find myself watching it. Because like when I'm at home, like 4 hours at home, I can do like
You.
so many things.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
4 hours of just watching.
Like, you're gonna shut it off halfway through.
Yeah. So
Definitely.
I don't know. But when I'm in a theater, it's kind of like it's inviting to just watch a movie, no matter how long
Yeah,
it
yeah,
is. At
yeah.
least for me. So, but I still want to see it because I haven't seen any Martin Scorsese film yet. I know that he's a really respectable director, and right, the fact that right now he has a movie in theaters, it's like I still want to see it somehow.
Yeah,
But 4 hours,
that's the first one I've seen in theaters.
yeah,
Martin Scorsese movie. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, I do think it's worth, like, for you, you know what I mean? Because
yeah,
you do a movie podcast, maybe it's worth checking it out. But yeah, probably not for your average person.
yeah,
But okay, so next movie we watched together, it was, I think it was before all these, maybe. We saw Dumb Money on the 23rd of September. So
yeah,
about like a month ago. Um, Dumb Money was very good, in my opinion. Paul Dano, uh, Pete Davidson, and other people who I forgot. Um, it it's a story about the GameStop stock shortage and all that happens like surrounding it. Oh, Seth Rogen and the guy from Parks and Rec. I forget his name. But yeah, so it's about the GameStop stock shortage that happened in 2021. And basically, this guy he ends up in the end making like 30 million off stocks, and it just tells the story of like everything surrounding it. And the reason why I love this movie is because when you think about the situation and like what's going on, you're like they could tell this in 20 minutes. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But the stuff they do with like the story beats and like the stuff they show you from his life just like makes you root for him. You know what I mean? Like his sister dies to COVID and like they visit her grave, and that's just like a very like sentimental scene, and you're just like, I want this guy to like win against all these like big executives, right?
yeah,
And like the scenes that they just chose to put in were like, I felt like nothing in that movie was filler. Like
yeah,
everything was needed, and also the very what's the word? The very like current generation stuff, like the current generation music, jokes, you know what I mean? All that stuff
yeah,
made it very like it made it resonate with me more, you know what I mean? Because obviously both of us have grown up in this generation where like all this stuff is like normal, like this music and these types of like language and stuff like that. So it made it resonate with me more because there's like college kids, there's executives, and like all the interactions between all these people are just so like funny and charming. So like Dumb Money for me gets like an 8.5. It was amazing in my opinion.
yeah. For me, I was upset to see that this movie like did not make a lot of money. People didn't really see it because this movie. I mean, watching it, I knew it was gonna be good because just the premise of it seemed smart, and I was like, yeah, of course it's gonna be good. But for it to be that entertaining, like just if you told someone I'm watching a movie about GameStop stock, they're gonna be like, "What?"
Mm-hmm.
But this movie, from start to finish, really had me entertained. And like Michael said, there was no filler. It was just straight through, just funny and just charming. And it was. And the craziest thing is that it's true. The story is true. It didn't happen too far ago. Like Michael said, um, the sister died of COVID, and COVID was not that long ago. So the fact that they made a whole movie off of what happened and that it's so accurate to what actually happened is so it's just so
Mm-hmm.
cool. I thought it was great. I would give it a 9.5. No, 8.5. Yeah, 8.5.
8.5. Okay, yeah. Sounds good. So yeah, I mean, definitely. I like listen. Like, if you're like, I think it's out of theaters now, but it's like a definite rent Honestly, if you're interested in it, like just buy it. Or if you're like kind of on the fence, you're gonna watch it on streaming and you're gonna love it. So just buy it. Okay. So Dalen, what are we going to see tomorrow?
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Okay, don't be weird, bro. Um, yeah, we're going to see Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
So
Oh
there's
my
been some
god.
controversy around this movie.
Yeah. So let me pull up the RT score. So I believe critics gave this a 28%, right? On
It's
Rotten
at a
Tomatoes.
26. Yep, it's
But
at a
then the
26 with 129 reviews.
but then the audience score is
89.
so another video game movie hated by critics but loved by fans. That sounds like Mario to me. Very interesting. I have yet to see it. We're seeing it tomorrow night.
Yep, seeing it
I
tomorrow night.
have been preparing to watch it. Today I should have been studying for a lot of things, but I've been watching Five Nights at Freddy's videos because I've
Mm-hmm.
been so excited. I don't know. Just I remember watching this the first time, like Five Nights at Freddy's in like third grade. I don't even remember. I used to be so scared to watch that, and now it's like it's a movie. Like before, it was a game you just would watch YouTubers play. Now it's a
Yeah.
full blown movie that, by the looks of it, is respectable. I mean, people are liking it, so I'm really excited for it. What about you?
I mean, look, I think you're probably more excited than me just because you were definitely more into Five Nights at Freddy's when we were kids. You would always come into school like talking about it and showing me videos, and I would like jump out of my seat because I was like, Dalen, what are you watching, bro? Like we're in like fourth grade. But okay, the thing that's been surprising me the most about this movie is the box office.
Yeah,
So it's estimated to open with 130 million, and on its Thursday night previews, it made 10 million, and it is estimated to earn 78 million domestic opening weekend, making it one of the biggest horror openings ever
that's
in
that's so
history.
crazy. That's crazy to me.
It
Cause I'm not, I
earned
don't want. Yeah,
it earned 39.5 million domestic opening day. That's
that's
insane.
wow. Yeah, like I don't want to put down Five Nights at Freddy's, but it literally started off as a computer game made by like one guy in his
Exactly.
laptop.
It's
So
insane.
just seeing it like what 10 that's what started 10 years ago. 10 years later, it's a whole movie breaking records. That for me that's like wow, like that talk
Yeah,
about
cuz you
making it.
cuz you were so interested in it when it was so small, you know what I mean? So just
Yeah.
seeing it grow is probably just like great for you, but it also got a minus on cinema score. And it's like if a movie gets a B plus or better on cinema score, like it's good. And it got an A minus, so even better than a B plus. And not much better,
Yeah.
but better than a B plus. And it has a 26% on Rotten Tomatoes. So like I'm conflicted. Like I genuinely don't know if it's gonna be good or bad. I mean, it has
Yeah.
89% audience score, so it's definitely gonna be on the better side. But for me, not being like a huge FNAF fan, I genuinely don't know if I'm gonna like it or if I'm just gonna be confused and be like, okay, this is like too much for the
Yeah.
fans, or like this is too much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm really excited to see that balance. Because in the Mario movie, if you saw the critics and all their reactions, they did not like it. At least the ones that didn't know a lot about Mario, because of the fact that the movie was so true to the source material. But then you have FNAF, where you kind of see that pattern again, where the critics are like, the plot is too weak, but yet it's still so convoluted, and it's just a bunch of mindless jump scares. But then you look at the games, and it's like, that's literally what the games are. It's like no plot at all, yet it's still so convoluted, and it's just a bunch of jump scares, and it's just like popcorn candy. It's like a roller coaster. It's just like a fun ride, and it's interesting to see that. But
Yeah, I
then,
mean, I
yeah,
think having what's his name, Josh Hutcherson is that his name?
yeah, I
The
believe
guy
so.
from Hunger Games. I want to see what he does. He looks like he's gonna be a good actor in this movie, and I'm honestly the most hyped for cameos because we already know Corey Kenshin's in the movie
Yeah,
from trailers. I don't know, Dylan.
yeah,
Do you watch
that
any
I'm
like
going.
video game theory, like game theory, like Matt Pat?
Yeah,
So like he like all these YouTubers could be in it, and like it would be honestly amazing because like if they feel like they're in it just like for like a funny gag, that would be good. But like if they actually like do something like I don't know like substantial or like they actually like have some sort of like role in the story that like doesn't feel like totally forced, that would be even
yeah,
better. I mean I don't know, I doubt it, that they'll have like some sort of like substantial role in the story. But I'm probably most excited to see like what they do with the actual animatronics
Yeah,
because it
same.
is rated PG-13.
Yeah, I mean, if you follow FNAF or like know a little about the games or the lore or the story of it, you would know that it's very graphic. Like not even like I want to say even dark. I would go to say it's really graphic. Just in what happens to the people in the
Mm-hmm.
story. So when I saw it was PG-13, I was like, are they gonna dumb down like the all the graphic stuff, or are they gonna like kind of like curve around it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. Because
It's
I
yeah,
think that it's rumored that they're gonna release a rated R cut on Peacock, but I don't know if that's like confirmed or not.
yeah. I mean, if that is true, if they did that for Megan,
It
I would
didn't
be so
add
happy.
much.
Yeah,
I,
but it
I
was
saw
still
some of like the Megan scenes.
yeah. There's only like a few like moments where it was like, okay, they made it a little more graphic. They
Yeah,
added
yeah,
some
yeah.
blood, but it wasn't like didn't change the story at least.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but it feels like the FNAF games don't really show like visually show a lot of graphic content. The things that happen like in the story that
That
we
like
like hear
aren't
about,
shown exactly. Yeah.
yeah, are
Which
graphic.
which
So
is which is why like now that they're bringing it into like an actual like story where like we're gonna see this stuff, like how are they gonna do it? You know what I mean?
yeah, because like the game, weirdly enough, has been seen as more of a kid-friendly horror game, like more on the kid-friendly side.
Because it's just jump
Even though,
scares.
yeah, even though there's like a quote unquote like dark lore, but
Yeah,
that's
behind
because
it.
like when you play the games, you don't really there's not a lot of story to it. It's just kind of just you play, you sit and wait, you look at cameras and you
Yeah.
try to hide from these animatronics. It's not really graphic, but I'm so curious. I've dodged a lot of spoilers somehow. I mean, I've been searching up FNAF, Five Nights at Freddy's all day today, and I haven't seen. Oh, I've seen one minor, but not a lot. It's interesting, so
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
so curious just to
I'm
see the
curious too
movie.
because we're not going into this movie sitting at the monitors for 5 nights. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
We're actually gonna like be in the pizza. What is it? I don't know, Pizzaplex or whatever.
yeah,
We're actually gonna like be in Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria, and like we're gonna see like what happens. So
yeah.
like,
We're actually following the night guard. We're not
yeah,
just playing as him. We're
exactly.
like seeing his life and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
his stories and stuff.
Which is why I'm kind of conflicted because I've watched some reviews, obviously non spoiler, and I've heard that it's 70% night guard and 30% animatronics. So I'm like,
Yeah,
okay, like if they make the night guard story captivating and it ties into the animatronics somehow, then okay, it could be good. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
like if what they're saying about it is like true, like dude, IGN gave it a 4.
yeah. That was a little alarming for me. I was like, well,
Yeah, a four is a little bit alarming. I mean, IGN is not like the most trustworthy source,
yeah,
but they're pretty trustworthy.
yeah. I would say that they have good reasonings for their scores, even though their scores might not be as widely as taken by people, or not be popular. But I feel like the reasonings they give behind their scores are pretty reasonable.
Uh
But
huh.
four, oh, that's a little. I
Yeah.
kind of got offended by that. I was like, oh, it's a
Yeah.
gaming movie, so I was like,
I mean, yeah.
IGN.
Jason Blum posted on X. Um, he's posted a screenshot of the Rotten Tomatoes, and he circled the audience score, and he said like, glad to see this movie resonating with the audience.
Yeah, and I feel like that is a step you have to take because a lot of times you see audiences kind of piggyback off of what the critics say,
Uh huh.
but in this case, I feel like audiences already knew that a movie like FNAF probably would not be as widely as accepted by critics. It's
Exactly.
so
Yeah.
weird. I
So
mean,
you
the
have
premise is so weird. I mean, it is so.
so you
Yeah,
have like the head of Blumhouse, the studio behind the movie, like the studio behind all these movies. I think Blumhouse was Megan.
yeah,
You have all these. You have Jason Blum, him basically going to Twitter and saying, like, I don't care about what the critics say. Like, the audience only matters to me,
yeah.
and
That's
that's like a
bold.
big thing for him to say.
Yeah, because now critics are not going to want to side with the movie or even maybe a few of his movies going forward because they
Yeah,
know that they're not making it for him and they don't. He's kind of encouraging his fan base to not take their opinion. So
exactly,
that
exactly.
interesting. Yeah,
Yeah, honestly though, I'm hyped. Like, we will probably record a podcast next weekend just about Five Nights at Freddy's and maybe some other stuff. So definitely look forward to that.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll take another 2 month break, even though
Yeah.
even though school is getting like busier at this point.
Yeah. It's only
Um,
getting worse somehow.
yeah, we should be able to take like 30 minutes to like 45 minutes out of our next weekend to talk about Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, who would have thought? I mean, school would be that busy and that like
I know,
paralyzing. I mean,
but
wow.
sports are almost over, so
Yeah.
we'll have a little bit more time on our hands at that point. But then we jump straight into the musical, so that'll be fun.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah, we balance that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have that tomorrow. That looks really fun. We also have November 11th, The Marvels. Look, okay, so when I saw this on my AMC app, like I screenshotted it and I posted it on Snapchat saying like, why did Dalen book this movie? Like that's literally what I said, because so there's basically this thing on AMC called AMC like Entourage. So Dalen can basically like book my ticket like for me to a movie. So like I went onto the app one day and I just saw that he booked a ticket for me and I was like, oh, okay, what is it? And I saw the Marvels and I was like, what? So I immediately contacted him and I was like, bro, we're seeing this? And he was like, yeah. And he sounds excited. So Dalen, you want to give us like your reasoning behind this?
I mean, not gonna lie. Okay, I watched Captain Marvel. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was terrible, at least. I watched WandaVision. I didn't really like Monica Rambeau in that. And I have not watched Miss Marvel. And I would say I'm more excited for this movie just because it's a Marvel movie. And I'm really curious to see the direction they're taking. Because now, I feel like the past 2 years, we've just been seeing Marvel putting more and more and more and more movies, more characters, more depth into the cinematic universe. But they're not tying it together. Like in the Infinity Saga, we saw a bunch of movies, but every single one really tied into each other. While so far, we have not seen any of them tie up. The Marvels is supposed to be like them tying up these three superheroes. I don't want to say I'm definitely not excited. I want to say I'm excited because I've not really seen a lot of things on the movie, but I do want to see it. I know a lot of people don't want to see it, but for me, it's like even if it's trash, I want to at least be there to experience it and say it's trash. I don't want to just be a
Yeah, I
bystander. You
mean,
know what I mean?
nobody's gonna go to this movie. Okay, I'm just gonna like be serious. Like nobody's going to see this movie, and
I,
people are gonna post spoilers, and people are gonna say it's trash even when they haven't seen the movie because they're just gonna watch the spoilers online. And this
yeah,
movie's
that's
not gonna
true.
make any money, and people are gonna say Marvel's dead.
Yeah,
And then hopefully Marvel will drop some banger. I don't know, but I don't know,
yeah,
dude. Honestly, like the trailers have looked like worse than like regular Marvel. Like the trailers
yeah,
have looked like worse than generic Marvel. I think like the villain is like Ronan's cousin or something like that, which is like
yeah.
just weird
The
to
movie
me.
seems really corny. It's really taking on
Mhm.
that MCU quirky feeling to it. It's really embracing that, which I don't know how
Yeah,
I feel
which
about.
I mean, honestly, that could be really good or really bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, the Marvels, I don't know, we'll have to see. But you know who else is dropping a movie? DC,
Ooh. Oh yeah. Aquaman
Aquaman
too.
2.
Oh yeah. I saw the trailer. Well,
Oh, it looks
we both
good,
we
bro.
both saw it. It
Yeah, we both
looks
saw it.
great, but but as
But
much as I love DC, I love Aquaman. I remember watching it in theaters when it came out. I don't know. As much as the trailer looked good, I've seen so many, you know, quote unquote leaks about people walking out of test screenings and studios are like, "Ugh, we don't know what to do anymore with this movie. Let's just get it out there just to get it over with." I'm just so worried that this movie's gonna be bad. And I mean, the trailer was cool. It showed a lot of cool clips, but we don't really know the overall tone of the movie. I don't know. It's worrying because I feel like fans have already made up their mind on whether or not they're gonna even watch the movie. Similar with the Marvels, how with the Marvels fans are like, I'm not even gonna see this. With Aquaman 2, it's like, I mean, you have movies like Blue Beetle, which was so good. People didn't watch that. People didn't watch The Flash. People didn't watch Black Adam. So people didn't watch Shazam 2. See, I haven't forgot about Shazam 2.
hmm
With Aquaman 2, it's like the first movie did make $1 billion, but that was in 2018 when like superhero movies was at its peak, right?
Uh huh.
We had Infinity War came out that year. We had a bunch of good movies around that time. Joker came out that year, I believe. Yeah. No, Joker came out the next year. So now in 2023, where people are so tired of the same thing over and over again, a movie like Aquaman 2 by DC, I don't know. It's like, do I think fans will like it? Maybe. Do I think it's going to be good? Maybe. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay.
have low expectations, low key.
I mean, we're coming off of the Flash and Shazam 2. So it doesn't have very high expectations to meet, but
Yeah.
I feel like there were moments in the Flash where I almost fell asleep. And all right, guys, we're back. This is about 5 minutes after we just wrapped recording. The original episode was 50 minutes, but you are only seeing a 35-minute cut because Streamlabs decided to take 15 minutes off of the recording and throw it somewhere into the void. And that was basically talking about some fan service Disney stuff, that 15 minutes. So tomorrow or sometime this week, we are going to be recording our FNAF review as well as that Disney stuff. And we will get that uploaded ASAP. So this is technically part one. There will be a part two of this podcast out sometime next week.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. If you are listening to this, you stay till the end. We appreciate you guys. We'll see you guys soon. Bye.